And my dear students of 11th class, and today in your botany we are going to take up plant water relations, and we will discuss how water is going to be essential for the plant life. In fact, or in other words, we may say that how water is essential or important for all the processes that are taking place in the plant world and makes the plants living. And here we go. Water is a major component of all living cells. In fact, by mass or by weight, this water is going to be or is the major component of all living cells, in which all substances are dissolved, water being the medium in which all the substances, all the materials get dissolved and undergo various biochemical changes. In fact, water is essential for all physiological activities of plant and play a very vital and very important role in all the life processes in living organisms, not plants but as well as all the living organisms. And water itself is a reactant as well as a product. It is seen that the water reacts with many substances and gets formed as a product as a result of many chemical changes that are continuously taking place inside the living organisms or living systems. And the protoplasm of the cells is nothing but water. Most of the protoplasm is water, in which different molecules are dissolved and many are suspended. Many molecules, many substances, as water is the universal solvent, many substances get dissolved in the water, and which does not dissolve, those which does not dissolve remain suspended in the water and are utilized as such by the living systems. Now, water is a medium for transport, and many of the mineral salts that get absorbed by the roots are carried over to the high trees, tall trees, and all the cells that are photosynthetic are carried by the water, which are essential for the cell growth also and for the cells to remain turgid. That is, water is essential for cell growth and the cell to remain turgid. And most herbaceous plants contain 85 to 95% of water by mass, and this is huge. Most of the herbaceous plants contain 85 to 95% of water, while melon has 92%. Melon itself has 92% of water by mass. Thus, most herbaceous plants have only about 10 to 15% of its fresh weight as dry matter. Otherwise, the remaining 80 to 85 to 95% by mass is water. You can understand how important the water is for the plants. And water distribution in a plant varies. Woody parts of the plants have relatively very little water, while soft parts contain mostly water. A dry seed which appears dry in its texture or in the appearance, it looks as if it is dry, but it still has water. Otherwise, it will not remain alive or be able to respire. And terrestrial plants take up huge amounts of the water daily, but most of it is lost to the air through a process that is called as the transpiration. that is the evaporation of water from the leaf surfaces. A mature corn plant absorbs almost 3 liters of water in a day, and you can understand 3 liters is quite a huge quantity. And a mustard plant absorbs water equal to its own weight in about 5 hours. The amount of the water absorbed by the larger sized plants is very large, that is 36 to 45 liters in mature apple trees, and more than 1 ton per day in elm tree. That is a larger sized tree and which absorbs almost 1 ton of water per day. And because of this high demand for water, it is not surprising that water is often the limiting factor. Limiting factor means that it is not possible to cultivate or grow the plants or for plants to survive without water, and thus the water becomes a limiting factor for plant growth and the productivity in both agriculture and the natural environments. So it is rightly said that no life without water, considering that water is equally essential for animal life also. And we will now in the next class, inshallah, and how water is essential for the plant life, we will take up that, and for that we are going to study the water potential in the next class, inshallah. Thanks. Have a nice day.